So I'm not sure if you noticed, but I passed 150 subscribers recently.
Keep the hip hop fresh and creamy like creme brulee.
Look, I can't do that for more than about 10 seconds, honestly. But I did pass 150 subscribers recently, and it's so cool. Thank you to each and every one of you guys who signed up to follow me on this language journey. So what I wanted to do to kind of celebrate that a little bit was go back through all of the comments and all of the messages that you guys have sent me over the last month and just properly reply to some of those in a video, which is something I haven't done before. So first, off YouTube, Wall S says, geez, you read Harry Potter in German. Oh my god, how did you deal with the vocabulary? So actually, Harry Potter I didn't find too bad. The vocab is okay, it's not too difficult. I mean, there's lots of like made up words, which is difficult because they're normally based on a pun in English, and I don't really understand puns in German yet. But almost all of the vocab you can get from context if you're sort of, B1, B2-ish. So genuinely, it wasn't nearly as hard as I think you might have thought. And I learned loads of really random, useless, magical words. Jacko Lantern on YouTube says, thanks for the love cram tip. That's the Instagram page that I recommended. I signed up to Instagram just to check it out. I'm glad that I'm doing the marketing for Instagram now. This is good. But love cram is a fantastic one if you're learning German. Brendan Nichols, you're really engaging. Thanks, mate. Keep it up. I will. Jaeger Johnson says, great choice. You're inspiring me to learn as well. Aw, thank you, Jaeger Johnson. This is something that I want to do. I want to try and... Because the thing, in England anyway in particular, and I don't know where you're from, Jaeger Johnson, but in the UK I think we have a really bad relationship with languages. It's so odd that someone from the UK would go out and learn a language. I get that like sometimes like learning German is not necessarily a practical thing to do because in Germany everybody speaks really, really good English. But it's so much more than that, and I really want to try and push that with this channel, talk about why I like learning languages, not as a pragmatic thing, but as a sort of cultural thing, a sort of spiritual thing to go away and do, to like expand your mind and learn more about other people. So yes, Jaeger Johnson, I'm glad that I'm inspiring you. Smile with Mel says, good on you for taking the bath home, really enjoyed this little vlog. That's the video where I got caught in the rain in KL and was absolutely drenched on my walk home. Link here. I got back and I went to go and buy a wrap, and then I tried to do this like silly transition where I'd gone and bought the wrap and then I wanted to like slowly dangle the wrap into the view of the camera, and then I dropped it and then it fell on the floor. Complete faff. Sad moment when your wrap fell on the floor but still looked delicious. That is true. Abu Kitten says, what resources did you utilize? What resources did you utilize when you first began learning German? And this is kind of a difficult one to answer because I've been learning German on and off. It depends on how you count it. Like I've been learning German on and off for like 2 or 3 years, really. So I never really first began learning German. I guess it always just kind of seeped into my life over the course of a few years. But if I was starting now, I would definitely recommend going and doing Duolingo, which is a really great online tool for practicing and learning things. Disadvantage of Duolingo is that you tend to learn things by rote rather than understanding why they're correct. So nowadays I would back up Duolingo by doing something like italki, which is a website where you can find professional tutors or just normal people who speak the language, and it matches you up and you can go and do lessons with them using Skype or something. Just all online, really, really super easy, and that would be really helpful. Okay, next one. Sharif Kandil on Reddit. Thank you so much for the video. This is the books one. I've been trying to find a post about books for a while. I'm about A1. Do you think Mouse would be good for me? Mouse is a really good book, and graphic novels, comic books in general, when you're learning a language, because they're pictorial, because the plot is mainly done through dialogue, I think they work really well when you're learning a language. I first bought my copy of Mouse when I was A2, and I found it really hard, and I actually gave up after the first chapter. I picked it up again when I had finished my B2, and I read it, and it was really great, it was fine. I think if you'd finished a B1, I think you'd be okay with Mouse. At A1, I would say something like Roald Dahl, I think, and you're still going to get a little bit stuck on the words because just the vocabulary of a German 5-year-old or 7-year-old is going to be so much bigger than yours, unfortunately. But then I would say get it on Kindle or ebook reader of choice, because the great thing about that is that you can do a long press on a word and it will pop up with the English translation, and it means you can read the pages without having to break your flow by going out to a dictionary. Bonig on Reddit says, too long didn't watch at the beginning, just name and show the books, would be more helpful than watching you sip water. Also, why not do the review in German? Ich würde sehr gern auf Deutsch reden, wenn ich über diese Bücher spreche, aber für mich, ich finde, dass ich mich besser erklären kann jetzt auf Englisch, und so, es ist einfacher auf Englisch zu reden, aber das ist nicht ein gutes Grund. Ich sollte mehr auf Deutsch reden, und das will ich. Ich will mehr Videos auf Deutsch machen, und das ist ja ein Ziel von mir. Also danke, Bönig. Ich würde das machen. Ich versichere dir, dass ich das machen werde, okay? Okay, this is a tough one. Doku Ganru 44 on Reddit says, I'm just starting learning German. I'm not familiar with A1 and these other levels. What does that mean? I'm from the US. So the concept of A1 to C2 is part of the Common European Framework of Languages, and I'll link the Wikipedia page all about this in the description so you can get the proper technical definitions. But for me, I think of it as A, you can go into a coffee shop, you can order, you can go to a restaurant, you can exchange basic pleasantries with somebody. Once you've learned B, you could probably operate independently, you could make friends in German without having to swap back to English all the time. And C is where you're getting on to being as good as a local, and you can be independent, you could work in the country quite happily, and that's the gold standard, that's what you really want to get to, C2, which is basically, for all intents and purposes, you're as good as you would need to be. Another one, Hans on Reddit says, I'm going for a month in June to France. Do you think a month immersion is too short? Should I extend longer? From your German experience, does more than a month offer diminishing returns? No, more than a month does not offer diminishing returns. Definitely go and do more than a month. Every time I've been away to study languages, I've got about 3 weeks into my 4 and just wish with every fibre of my being that I could stay and just keep on learning. And that's kind of why I'm doing this trip now, is because the last couple of times I've done it, I haven't wanted to come back, and so I was like, well, why don't I just go and not come back then? So absolutely, I think you make so much progress in a month. I was so surprised by how much progress I made in my month in Hamburg or my month in Berlin in German. I mean, orders of magnitude differences between what I was able to do at the start and what I was able to do at the end. Something that I would suggest is, if you're thinking of going away for a long time to learn languages, record yourself before you go, just trying to speak at a camera for 5 minutes in your target language. At the end of your course, do it again, watch the 2 videos side by side, and mind blown. You'll have made so much progress. I'm going to do that on this channel actually before I go away, and every month I'm going to do a check-in, and hopefully over time we'll be able to see me getting better, hopefully. On Duolingo now, Mahamk says, gut gemacht, ich habe dir Thumbs up gegeben und habe auch zu deinem YouTube-Kanal abonniert. Deine YouTube-Sendung hat mir gut gefallen, ich habe auch vor, Arabisch als Fremdsprache zu lernen. Good. For non-German speakers, he's given me a thumbs up, which you should do as well. Give me a thumbs up on this video, and subscribe, which you should also do. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe. Be like Mohammed. He also says, I also want to go and learn Arabic, which I'm so looking forward to. I'm finding it difficult because I'm almost more looking forward to learning the Arabic than the French. Don't get me wrong, I'm really looking forward to French. But from January onwards, doing Arabic is going to be amazing. I think that'll just be a whole different kettle of fish, you know? Okay, thank you so much everybody for your comments. It's been so fun reading them. There are so many more than that across Duolingo, Reddit and YouTube that you guys have all sent me. So I know it was a bit silly at the start with the glasses and the 150 and everything, but seriously, it's a really cool milestone. I mean, it means a lot to me, and I'm really looking forward to the next 150 or 500 or wherever we get to, and I hope to see you then. But until then, thank you so much for watching. You guys are heroes. See you next time.
Keep the hip-hop fresh and creamy like creme brulee. We keep it right, bring the hip-hop freshness out of the range. Blowing sweet like a river, get the mic put in place when I contemplate symbols. It's a body when it ripple, temptation's quite nimble. Neoteric when the mic is put in close by my dimples. Fuck the tripe, no